Mr. Naoya Tamanaha, the CEO of the Flight Simulator Okinawa, to come up here and do your presentation in regards to the STEM in flight simulations. And Mr. Tamanaha has been flying for many years, and I'm sure you're going to be listening to him. And he has been flying also all over the world, here and there, so we'll see. And I'm sure you'll be talking about your Miyako and all your other little things. Okay. All right? Thank you very much. Tamanaha-san.
Thank you so much. Hello, good afternoon. My name is Naoya Tamanaha. As Tony Sykes introduced to me, that I'm CEO and the Chief Flight Instructor for FSO. Stands for Flight Simulation Okinawa. I started simulation, of course, obviously, before the simulator, I started airplane training at the Air Force Zero Club Flight Training Center for years and years, and became the examiner to issue the pilot certificates. I've been involved with the aviation business for over 20 years. I'm going to talk about the aviation business here in Okinawa, okay? And then talk about the STEM program towards the end for the next 15 minutes. Okay, you know this picture, right? There's so many airline traffic across all the world for your fun travel and your business trip, and of course cargo. That's a huge demands, all that things. Don't expect that happening for next 20 years as you see now because of global pilot shortage. As you may have heard this in the news everywhere. If you global pilot shortage, you'll see it. This is just one of it. It's just one of it. United looking for the pilots, over 10,000 pilots. Delta looking for the pilots on pretty much everywhere. Not just US, but also Japan. I just heard from the Jetstar cancel the flights to Miyako due to pilot shortage. They changed the route, they changed the number of flights per week. It used to be 4, now it's 3 because of pilot shortage. And one of the small airlines in Nagasaki stopped flying because no pilot. Super rich may soon have to try to check in these desks because of pilot shortage. Okay? All right, here's the data coming from the Boeing. And they announce this data every year. Look at this right there. It's over 800,000 pilots needed for next 20 years. It's hard to imagine how many numbers. Let me tell you this, about 100 pilots every day for next 20 years. It's not gonna happen, we know that. That's why we are flight school and flight provider. We are struggling to train the student pilot in quality, in good quality, right? But look at this number here. In North America, it's over 200,000 pilots needed. That's big in one region. If you look at the Asia Pacific, that's over 266,000 pilots. It's a growing economy. It's growing right there. So, how do the airlines hire pilots? That's the structure for the pilot training program. So here's the pyramid for the pilot industry. Start off flight instructor. And obviously, get your private, instrument, commercial, then first job will be flight instructor. So once they become a flight instructor, they're looking for the regional jet pilot or charter pilot. Okay, then going to major airline, big jet. What's the requirement to go into the regional airline? They're looking for minimum 1,500 hours. No one, I shouldn't say no one, but it's very hard to fly 1,500 hours from his pocket because 1 hour costs approximately $200-300. So that's why people become the flight instructor and gain experience to move on next step. Soon as they reach the 1,500 hours, they go to regional. What about the major requirement? That's about 3,000 hours and maybe 500 turbine jet time. So that's the pyramid, okay? So don't worry, there's 100 flight schools available in the United States, right? There's so many schools. So what is the problem? Pilot shortage in the United States turned into the flight instructor shortage. 2/3, 66% are brand new. Less than 1 year experience. Why? Because as soon as they reach 1,500 hours, they're out. So there's so many young flight instructors out there. to teach future aviator. And that is happening in less than 2 years. Because they fly a lot, maybe 60 hours a month. It's easy to get the 1,500 hours to go into regional airlines. Another problem, lack of examiner create major check ride delay. Okay? There used to be a lot of examiner cross board in the country, and I was one of it. I was designated Kadena, Yokota, and Osan. I was designated Japan, and some examiner designate only area. But because of this issue, FAA eliminate that restrictions. Pretty much any examiner can do check ride anywhere in the country. But here's another problem. Because of the demand, prices goes high. It used to be $200 for check ride. When I was student pilot, I think I paid $150 for check ride. Long time ago, 30 years ago. Now it's going up like 200, 300, now it's 700. Okay? Now FAA limited only up to 2 check ride per day. Because of that problem, FAA changed that restrictions. It's okay to do 3 check ride a day. So examiner can make a lot of money, of course. You know, sometimes $2,000 more a day. Okay, I went to the Denver, Colorado last week, and then I attended a migration seminar, record migration. And this is just one of the breakout sessions. CFI stands for Certified Flight Instructor. Basically, flight instructor cannot fully instruct. What a shocking title. This is subtitle, How We Build Qualified Instructor. Now, you don't want to hear that from us, right? So this is very, very special area that all the flight instructors need to know, because the attendance, all the flight instructors are senior like me. So we have to teach young flight instructor for the future general aviations. U.S. Air Force retired Colonel Roger Sharp. He's a FAA designated pilot examiner. He used to be the Air Force Aero Club program director, who used to be my boss a long time ago. I chatted him. He mentioned that why do applicants fail the check ride? Analysis and decision-making skill most of the time, not the stick and rudder. Their decision-making is a problem. Why? Because they don't get the experience in a very short period of time. And a flight instructor doesn't have that experience. So that's the number one failing issue. Here's another one. So what should you as an instructor do? Don't introduce any tasks, including an emergency procedure, in the airplane until they have done them successfully in the simulator. Because simulator is a great tool to demonstrate all the situations that you never experienced in the airplane. If you experience the airplane, you're dead. Right? I don't know how many times I kill my student in the simulator, not the airplane. Right? Alright? So that's the key. So there's several issues, right? One, pilot shortage in the United States turns into flight instructor shortage. Okay. Number 2, lack of examiner create a major check rate delay. 3, yes, airplane rental fee is very expensive now. It used to be less than 100, sometimes 50. Not anymore. It's almost a triple. Okay. Very expensive. So what is the real problem? Okay, here young kids came into flight school with limited budget and plan, thinking about, hey, I'm gonna be Maverick. I'm not sure he knows about the Top Gun, but that's my age. Anyway, so he has big dream, big passion, started, right? But as he started, less experienced instructor, more time to fly, more time budget, now he's crying, more time, now it's like that. If you don't see this picture, you're my age. All right, then they're gonna broke and quit. This is happening a lot. We need pilots, not just in the United States, because once you've been qualified, you can fly pretty much everywhere. You need solutions. Yes, that's why we were there. We are there to build good qualified flight instructor. You know, the NAFI, SAFE, Migration, AOPA, those aviation organizations make a lot of effort how we can create the good instructors. That's number 1. Number 2, STEM, as you know, science, technology, engineering, math. Aviation is just one of it, just part of it, major, you know. So the AOPA and Redbird Simulator introduced the same program into the high school. I heard that they're going to start that junior high school level, okay? So that's a huge demand out there. Now, we're doing the same thing. Our mission is flight instructor, how we teach the flight instructor, not only the student pilots in quality. And also, we also teach the high school kids, same concept. That's what we do in Okinawa. Okay, we have trained student pilots and instructors in the simulator for airplane training in the States. Yes, as Tony-san explained to me that we have a Shimojima Training Center. We have not started the airplane training yet, but we're going to start. But mainly, we train everything in simulator and have them go to the States so they can successfully complete it, and hopefully they can be one of the human resources for the pilot community. And obviously, STEM is a great opportunity to discover how educators can prepare students for success in these exciting and well-paying careers. When I see that paragraph, the one thing came up on mind: Okinawa's a problem. My name is Tamanaha. I'm born and raised in Okinawa, and I'm seeing this big problem. What it is? This is one of the big problems in Okinawa. Negative change, low pay job, poor, low college ability. That's the problem. That's why Okinawa Prefecture. You can go to the Okinawa Prefecture website. You see that. What is the problem? How we can fix that problem? Of course, I cannot fix it. Of course. That's the government things. Industry. We have to work together. And I rose my hand. Okay, I have one solution. Hopefully that benefits Okinawa, which is not just STEM, because we're non-US, non-English, the speaker, right? So train them in English and use the English and the STEM program with fun. Simulators, everybody gets fun, like a game, right? So people excited for English and STEM program, and so they should be able to get, high individual like aviation, like pilots, mechanic, aircraft designer. Those are the possible for the Okinawan kids. They never thought about it. They never even thought about becoming the aviation thing, because we don't have aviation here in Okinawa. So, English and STEM program makes the person, not just the aviation program, but also these are the ability they should be able to be. Decision-making skills, data analysis, creativity, communication skills, risk management, task management, leadership, you can name that. This is just part of the fundamentals of the well-paying careers. Then I started FXO Pilot Club this year, using a STEM concept, using that small desktop computer simulator. I proposed it to Chatham Town, because we are a company based on Chatham, Ihama Station, and also we are part of the Okinawa Prefecture program based on the Shimojima Airport. So I proposed this idea to both government. Our first member, 14 years old kid in Chatham, was supported by Chatham Town. It's on the newspaper. If you look at, he is the chairman of the Board of Education. He's the mayor, that's me. All right, so we are doing this program. We just started, because he's on the TV, radios, newspaper, so he's trying asking me, are you going to be a pilot? Can I try? That's what it is. There's not many people out here, unlike the United States or unlike the base. It's hard for us, hard for kids to talk and meet the pilots, aviation specialists. So he's the one. Okay, again, what we're doing here and why? Again, look at this pyramid. And obviously, major airlines, that's what you're going to use. Regional airline, that's what you're going to use of the domestic transportation. But we are here to support their big industry, to create good pilot and instructors. And the same program for the kids. For better and efficient training, obviously, in the simulator, for kids' training and their careers. And change the chain to positive chain. That's the goal for the Okinawa. According to the data, Okinawa, we got 47 prefecture in Japan. Obviously, Tokyo is number one. Average annual income, Tokyo, is $47,000. Okay, Okinawa, 42, number 42, not even $30,000. That's average. I'm not talking average in Okinawa. So I like to have, in future, I like to have those kids going to be, airline pilot or engineer to create more money to hope that they can change the Okinawa's, the negative chain like this. This is what we do. Thank you very much. Just one thing. We're looking for STEM instructor and business partner. Thank you.
Yes, Tamanaha-san. Thank you very much. Again, big round of applause to Tamanaha for the Flight Simulator Okinawa. Questions? Anybody with questions or comments? Anybody? Yes.
My apologies for coming in late. You said that Okinawa has very low scholastic ability.
Yes.
What do you think is the reason for that?
Well, that's I talked to one of the member of the board of education in Japan, in Okinawa Prefecture. There's so many reasons, but it's increased right now. It's at the elementary level. Junior high school, I think according to his statement, the instructors, teachers' mindset is completely different from when I was a kid. So it's on the data, according to the Okinawa Prefecture Kyoibikai Board of Education. There's a lot of resources out there, but of course I'm not the person who talk about the Okinawa's actual, that ability things. So please, please take a look at the data. Thank you.
Are there other questions? Yes, Chair, please.
Tamanaha-san, thank you for coming today. We've been friends for a long time. And I mean, you've done so much and grown so much with what you do. When you're talking about recruiting, like my brother-in-law, he flies for Delta. He was in the military as a pilot, and then he got out. In Japan, do they have the Japanese pilots, do some of them get out of the military and join the commercial bullet pilots?
Okay, short answer, yes, but they have a restriction. When they get out the Japanese military, like a JAG staff, they cannot start working for the airline until like a couple of years. That's a rule. Because they use the government money, so they can use the government money for the civilian work. I hope they're going to change it, but yeah, short answer, they will.
In that same question, then, would the U.S. military pilots just go out and become commercial pilots?
Possible.
Without any time?
Military pilots, a lot of experience on flight time, so they are easy to go into the major airline. I think that's one of the big problems for the military pilots. They are hard to keep their pilots in the military system.
Any other questions, please? How long would a student from your flight simulator, Okinawa, take to become a pilot, and about how much?
Okay, say zero experience. As you see the picture on the screen, she is 23, graduated from the community college. She's 23, and no previous experience. So we plan to put her on a 3-month training in Shimoji, a lot training, previous ground school and simulator training. Once she completed that training, she goes to the States, spending 1 year, 10 months to 1 year to complete a private aviation and commercial, then become a flight instructor in just 1 year. So technically, she can be the professional pilot in 1 year, but because we are not U.S. citizenship, so she has to go into the U.S. college to get the right work permit. So we met at the affiliation program with the Embry-Riddle University, so that they come to the Embry-Riddle, working as full-time. So she can get the full-time permission, part-time and full-time work permit. So total, we plan to spend her like 6 years. But out of 6 years, the 4 years, she will actually gain experience and gain money. So total 4 years experience and income is more than $200,000 as a flight instructor. So as soon as she got the $3,000 flight time, according to this, the pilot shortage, you can get the job in the States easily. So total approximately 130,000 US dollar for everything. Private training, US college, and so on. That's the total cost. And total income as a flight instructor is over $200,000, and total length is about 6 years. Can I answer your question? I know it's expensive. Yes.
Yeah, I have a friend who was not military that went through the process of becoming a commercial pilot. Okay, it took him several years to do that because of the requirement for it, the cost to pay it, and getting the hours in. And then once he did get the 1,500 hours, he had to go in and get 3,000 hours, and wound up having to take lower paying jobs with long hours. From that, finally he just gave up after several years. I know that becomes an issue with a lot of people, and the cost involved, as you mentioned, the $130,000. Is that a major concern, or is there financing available for that?
Yeah, that's number one biggest hurdle for pretty much everybody. But in the States, there's a lot of finance for the pilot's training program, not in Japan. There's no such. So, yeah, they are hard to get the loan, scholarship. That's the biggest hurdle for local pilots. And then in the US, yeah, I talked to several pilots, instructors. They got the, just commercial private, the loan. But as soon as they get the flight instructor jobs, they should be able to return the money back.
Yes, this man.
How do you select and qualify the candidate students? Can anyone raise their hand and say, I want to be a pilot and join school? Or what's the process?
Okay, first of all, English. That's the first step. As you know, not many Japanese speak English like a pilot. So we put them on the training. So it takes several months. While they're doing that, obviously, they need to think about that financial program. And also, we put them on simulator to see how they can perform in the simulator. Okay, and then hopefully we can have the airplane soon, but we don't have it right now, so we send them to the States for the actual flight training, just partial, to see how they like it. We get a feedback from flight instructor. So we overall all the scores make them think like, okay, you want to do it or not? But most likely, I would say average people. Pilot doesn't have to be special skill, talent. I would say, because I've been doing this business for 20-some years, I can say if you can ride the bicycle, you can fly the airplane. Of course, during that training, 1 year training plus 4 year experience training, that's lots of training. So actual work will make you be the real pilot. Stick and rudder, that's easy. Decision making is the hardest part. So how you learn that decision making? You gain that experience and knowledge as a flight instructor. So once you get that 3,000, a couple thousand hours of flight instructor, now gain knowledge and experience and the actual the decision making skill, it's easy. Pretty much, once you get the 1,500 hours, no problem, you can go. Oh, you have the good medical. That's one of the biggest issues. Some people have some issues, so they can't go to the airlines.
Prior to that, basically, wanted to be a pilot, and I can join your school.
Yes, please come. Yes, you can try a simulator to see how you like it. I know it depends, of course. Some people takes like kids. So teenager, easy. 30, okay. 40, 50, yeah. But still possible. I got a student from 14. He was 10, and I got 65. Of course, wide range, right? So obviously, over 50, 60, just take your time. Don't rush.
Yes, Mike.
What about a person who just wants to fly their own private plane?
Possible.
They don't want to go to the airlines. They don't want to work for the airlines.
Oh,
They just want to learn how to fly their own.
yeah, there's lots of people out there. Actually, some people buy that plane first and use that airplane for the training. So it's possible. I'm talking about the commercial, but also the possibility you can be the private pilot, have your own plane just for fun, just for own transportation. It's possible.
Yes, please. Councilor.
So, in terms of ground transportation, you know, you see a lot of news about autonomous vehicles, right? Self-driving cars and buses and trucks. And we hear about a global pilot shortage. Are there new technologies in the
Yes.
future out there that
Yes,
could
yes.
bridge that gap?
Yeah, I didn't tell you that, but as you see, I said 100 pilots needed for the next 20 years, right? So we know, and it's impossible. So I told the Boeing engineer, they started making non-manned airplane, okay, unmanned aircraft, okay. Now they have a drone, right? It looks like an airplane, but there's no one in the airplane, so it's possible. But it will be, like a passenger airplane will be the very, very last. It should be like survey or the cargo, so the actual human transportation will be the very, very last. But the technology is there.
Any other questions? So everybody wants to be a pilot now?
Yes.
So if somebody wants to be a pilot, or anybody has friends or relatives that wants to be a pilot, they just give you a call
Please.
and you just do an interview.
Yeah, please come to our facility and you can see our simulator, we can chat, and then I can show you how you can become a pilot. There are several stages. And also, there's the one flying club in the Air Force Aero Club that I used to belong. So there's one on the chance over there for you have the base pass. I'm talking about the guy who doesn't have a base pass. They should come to me. Yeah.
Okay, good. And after they go through your school, then they go to the U.S. to get their degree.
Yes, aviation degrees. Yes.
Has to go to the U.S. Is there other countries that they do?
No, of course it's possible, but as you may mention that there's a big pilot community out there. There's 2/3 of the entire world aircraft, excluding military and the airline, is located in the United States. It's over 600,000 pilots in the United States. We have only 8,000 pilots in Japan. So there's a big infrastructure over there. U.S. colleges, so many colleges. And then once we send them over there, they have opportunity to work and gain experience to become pilot instead of send them to the one of the Asian country. I think that's the quickest way. That's the way.
Is there anybody last question? If not, again, Tamanaha-san, yes. Thank you very much. And if I could just I'll just give you a presentation. Thank you very much for being our speaker today.
Oh, thank you very much.
Maybe just turn this around this way. こんなかな? はい。はい。
はい、ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。All right? Great. Thank you very much. ありがとうございます。